The guppy is one of the most popular live bearers and is often found in beginner aquariums. Many aquarists lose interest in the guppy as they move on to more delicate fish species, but quite a few are instead mesmerized by this charming fellow and decide to keep and breed high-quality guppies just like us. Some aquarists even start to produce show guppies for guppy competitions. These guppies are very far from the sturdy, no-nonsense guppy sold to beginner aquarists under the name common guppy most fish shops have. Through many generations of selective breeding, the wild guppies develop into what we now refer to as fancy guppy. Guppies heavily reproduce in captivity, but if you want to create a strain of high-quality guppies, you have to devote plenty of time and effort to the project. Preparations. To begin with, make sure that you have a high-quality fish to start with. If you walk down to your local fish shop and purchase a few of the fairly inexpensive guppies that they offer for the beginner aquarist, you will most likely end with not so good guppies. These guppies can serve as excellent pets for novice fish keepers, but they are not a good foundation for a strain of high-quality guppies. It should also be noted that many fish shops sell guppy couples where the fishes came from completely different strains. The best way of getting high-quality guppies suitable for breeding purposes is to contact a reputable breeder and purchase high-quality specimens from them. This will save you a lot of time and effort since you will have prime specimens right from the start. If you fail to locate a good local auction, actually there are several reputable guppy breeders to be found online that will deliver fish by email, order, or on social media groups. Once you have found a reputable breeder, purchase a young couple. The risk of deformities will increase if you let old guppies breed, because old male guppies are also known to have trouble in breeding. Planning. Before you engage in selective breeding, it is important to develop a plan. A lot of breeding programs have gone astray in the hands of indecisive aquarists. Set goals to begin with, such as increasing the size and adding color, or creating a finer pattern for grass and lace type of guppies. If you have decided to focus on size, do not suddenly pick a small fish as parent fish simply because it shows nice colors. If you absolutely can't stand the idea of not breeding the colorful fish, it is advisable to set up a separate breeding aquarium where you can focus on perfecting the color or pattern without interfering with your first breeding program. Select parents wisely for each generation. So this time we will be selecting pair from my tank here from different line. Do not let your guppies breed randomly. Select your best males and females and only allow them to breed, because harem breeding is not recommended. And of course, you need to collect the best specimens from 1 to 2 batches and then move on to the next generation. As what you can see here on our community tank, some males have already that unwanted pattern, if you notice, and this is not a problem for me because I know already how to make them back to the original pattern, and I know some of you already mastered this method also. And so as selective breeding, we need to find, of course, a finer male pattern to be paired up from other line female to have the best result. Selecting the right male guppy. Some guppy breeders automatically allow the first male that matures to breed, but this is not advisable because the first male might not be the best one, and it's also true that the first guppy that reaches sexual maturity rarely grow as big as the more slowly maturing males. Selecting the right female guppy. The right female is not necessarily the best looking female, since you need a female that will produce great offspring, including great male offspring, just like that, and breed each of your various types of females to the same good male, and raise the different batches separately. This way you will know which type of female that you should pick for future generations, and use the female type that has produces the very best male guppies. Housing. Crowding can lead to stunted growth, and never keep more than 8 to 12 guppies in a 10-gallon, roughly 4 liters of water in an aquarium. Unless you have a lot of friends to unload guppies on, you will be forced to cull each batch to keep the number of fish down. And water quality. Ideally, carry out small water changes once a day or 50% water changes weekly. Keeping the water quality up and simultaneously avoiding rapid changes is desirable. And also, let's try to select good pair for purple bluegrass here. Temperature. The standard recommendation for guppies is 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit or 18 to 20 degrees Celsius. But in a breeding aquarium, you should increase the temperature to 74 to 78 Fahrenheit or 23 to 25 degrees Celsius. Feeding. Really young guppies can be fed with microworms and newly hatched brine shrimp or BBS or cultured adapia. And juveniles will appreciate larger brine shrimp and live food. It is better to give your fish several small servings per day than 1 or 2 big ones. If you want your guppies to grow as large as possible, it is important to feed them a lot during the first few months of their life, since this is when they go through a period of very rapid growth. And here, let's try to select good pair from HB Blues. Actually, they are still juvie, but you can now select from them because even as solid color juveniles, you can tell already if their pattern is good or not, unlike those grass, mosaic, lace pattern, just like that they need to reach 2.5 or to 3 months to say that they already have good pattern, because they need to be full grown first before reaching their full pattern. So let's go to breeding method that associates with selective breeding. I know some of you also know this process already, like guppy line breeding. Breeding related guppies to ensure enhanced version of desirable traits is defined as line breeding. When line breeding is carried out well, it leads to best example of offspring. The same cannot be said, however, about unrelated guppies that mate, because line breeding produces a specialist line that preserves or carries through the desirable traits envisioned by the breeder. In line breeding, there are few things to be mindful of. Namely, it is recommended to allow female guppies to breed with their father, but never male guppies to breed with the mother. In the first case, good results are produced, while in the second case, the chance of result opposite to what you are expected. Therefore, you should avoid allowing male guppies to breed with the mother. Guppy outcrossing. Guppy outcrossing is another breeding technique that you can apply, which requires that you breed unrelated guppies of different lineage. Because with line breeding, inbreeding can become a problem, and outcrossing can help maintain the health of your guppies and reduce the chances of deformities or faults that may arise with line breeding. Guppy outcrossing can also add desirable traits to your guppy line, an interesting color or tail shape or pattern, without worrying about the risk of deformities such as curved spine. It is recommended that you perform guppy outcrossing every few generations to maintain the genetic healthiness of your fish. And also keeping records of your guppies. With so many tanks and inhabitants, it can be difficult to keep tracking of things. This is why I recommend that you not only devise a breeding plan, but also you document everything you are doing. Keeping records helps you assess your progress and know where you are at with your plan. It also helps to avoid confusion and mixing up your fish, not knowing which fish are which, just like that. And finally, if you want to breed supreme quality guppies, you have to be patient. Improving the quality of strain is a slow and gradual process, and it can sometimes be easy to forget about the long row of tiny improvements that you have achieved from generation to generation, and have the potential of being better than their parents. Picking the right fishes for future breeding and providing your guppies with ideal care is therefore very important, and hope you get that. So thank you so much guys for watching this video till the end. Hopefully this guide will help you on maintaining your guppy fish line healthy and beautifully using selective breeding. And if you like this video, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel to get updated of upcoming videos like this one. And if you have any comments, suggestions, and clarifications, just drop your comments down below. Please be safe everyone. To God be the glory. Bye bye.